Hey, good morning. Hi, garden friends. So, in today's episode of You Win Some, You Lose Some, or maybe we should title this, Yes, You Can Still Make Mistakes. I always do. I make mistakes a lot. So, what was my mistake? My Nantucket planters. Let me turn the camera around. I'll show you. All right, if you remember from a previous video, I had these Nantucket gardens. I was gonna make this my Hummingbird Highway off-ramp extension. So I put my redbirds in a tree and my California Fuchsia in a tree. And wah wah. California Fuchsia was like, no thank you. And my redbirds in a tree was like, I'm gonna die now. So what's interesting is it was just way too hot. The sun is way too hot, but both of them, tons of budding up, if you see that. And then also I put my butterfly weed in here, and my butterfly weed, or no, this is hummingbird trumpet. So this likes the sun. My butterfly weed likes the sun. My vermilion air that I dug out, I put back in here. So this will just be kind of vermilion air central. I am going to put an unplugged So Blue or unplugged blue salvia from Proven Winners in here. Those do really well and they stay on the smaller side, but they're sold out. Of course, it's August. And for most people, those are an annual. For me, it's not. So I'll just wait till spring when I can order it. And then there's my Agastaki. Maybe I'll pop that in there too. So that was my learning for this week. I really hope those redbirds in a tree make it because they were really pretty. Here's my whatchamacallit, bee balm, aka Monarda. It gave me a great flush, but it was trapped back there from when we did the fence, not getting a lot of sun, so I pulled it out, and I think I'm going to put that somewhere. So really what I'm doing is I'm just kind of reorganizing all my pots and all that sort of good stuff. So let me show you what I'm up to. I'm all hot and sweaty now. And it's not even really that hot, but we did a lot. I enlisted my sweet husband, who is always game for helping me move all these pots around. And when I say always game, I mean, it's not his favorite thing to do, but he knows that it makes me happy. So that's very sweet. So we did a ton in the Hummingbird garden. I completely rearranged all of the pots so that there's no pots in front of my Orphan Garden. So my Orphan Garden now, other than, I've got my basil, right, that will go, but I want a pot there in the corner. And then I've got my pot here with the lemon cypress in it with some fuchsia. I want that pot there. And then I've got my blue pot there so that no one runs into the drainage thing or whatever. I have moved my angel's trumpet that was over here, so I put that here. There's one, and hiding. I was like, where the heck is it? There. So that's nice because they're taller, bushier, naked legs. So let me turn the camera around and I'll show you what I did. So I've got some cleanup here. I've got my annual pot that I had that just is kind of fizzling out. I moved my Weeping Norway spruce, I think it is, here. So it's going to get more sun, which it will like. It's not shaded by some of these other plants, and you can see it better, which is great. And then I moved my window boxes that I've got the salvia in. I've moved that back, and then I put the angel's trumpet behind it, my calla lily, and so then I just kind of moved things, spread them apart, gave them some more air. Here's my pink charm, I think maybe it might be, flowering maple Buellton. I kind of twisted it and gave it some space now. The hummingbirds and the bees really like this Salvia greggii, so I kept that one up front. And then I moved the other window box here back a little bit and then sort of cleaned up, got rid of 3 pots that were in here and relocated a couple of them. So one is I put my pineapple sage in there. Then I got to move my Hinoki cypress here so you see it better. It's more prominent, which I like. And then my geranium medense, or however you say it, there, the giant herb Robert, because that will just kind of get fluffy and fill in that space. So, and then we hide the naked legs of the tiger's eye Buellton with the angel's trumpet. So I'm super happy about that. Feel like everything can breathe a little bit, better airflow. Not that there was a problem at all, but it just was feeling crowded. So I like the feel. And then I planted my redbirds in a tree here. So fingers crossed. I dug out a hosta from one of the pots, put it there. Here's my California fuchsia. Hopefully it will do okay. And then the two plants I pulled out from the pots in here were the GM, tangerine GM. So we planted that right here. And I like it because it blooms first thing in the spring and right next to a Desdemona David Austin rose, which will be naked. So this will fill in here is pretty much as you see with beautiful tall tangerine spikes right when the rose won't be doing anything. And the salvia, even though we cut it back, it will grow back, but it will take a while. And we reduced it. I divided it into fourths and I only kept 1/4. So it'll be quite a bit smaller. And then I put the bee balm over here, the Monarda, right there. So I'm feeling pretty accomplished, to be honest. I mean, I really like what we did. I think, let me turn the camera around. I really think that we did a beautiful job in just working as a team. Oh, I'll update you on this. So here in front of my Zen fountain, we've been having a problem with this, the corner there. This whole slab has been lifting and I've called several people for help with it. And they're like, there's a root under there. And we looked when we took this fence down, we looked and we didn't see a root. So finally today, my husband pulled up some of the wood, I don't even know what you call it, the stuff that's in between the concrete, and really like poked around, and sure enough, we found roots. So here, I'll turn the camera around and I'll show you. So we went down here, here's the crack. We found the roots. I don't know if you can see that, but we tried to saw them and it was just impossible to really get in there. So what I think we're gonna have to do is, unfortunately, dig this whole concrete slab up. The shed is built on half of it, or not even half of it, just a little corner. So we might just have to cut it there, dig this up, dig out those roots, and then re-pour this part. But it's really important because they're headed towards the house. So they're cruising. They're coming from this big Chinese pistache right next door, and they're coming under here, and they're cruising all under here towards the house. So we can't have that. So it's a trip hazard big time also. So I got this mat for now just to make sure no one, kills himself taking the header here, but you can just see like how much it's lifted up. So there's an expensive fix. Always something. This guy, he's going into the compost. Just fuchsias, man. When they're happy, they're happy. And when they are not, they are not. Like, look at this fuchsia. Happy. There's two in there, two different kinds. Happy. And then this one was doing amazing. And then all of a sudden it stopped being amazing. And now it's like half dead. Don't know why. And this one I practically killed with overwatering and it's on its way back. But then I've got a fuchsia in here. Happy. Happy, happy. So, I don't know. Anyway, here is our new Hummingbird Highway breathable space. Oh, and we also put up these. These are solar motion detectors, but they look like little carriage lights. So I put one there and there. So when you come in the new, this way, you have lighted up areas, then on either side of our garbage bins there, and then one right by our gate. So kind of cool, huh? All right, well, I feel like I deserve that second cup of coffee. Now, we were really industrious this morning and it feels good. So I've tidied up, I've washed up, I've cleaned up. I'm going to put a couple things away. But that is it. I did talk about my planters and what I did there. I do want some unplugged blue in here, but that will wait. So, and then I think I'm almost ready to start doing the shuffle. I think I've talked about, I want to move my nectarine over behind on the other side of the house, take my lime, put it in its place, and plant this chiclet orange in that blue pot on the other side of the house. We're cool in the temps. We're in 90, I think 95 today, but then we're, bouncing around the 80s and low 90s for a while. So I think it might be a perfect time to do that. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get to that. All right, gang. I hope that you have a wonderful day. And you know my tagline. I feel like our gardens give us so much love when we are out in it, and it's a result of us loving it, right? And doing all that work. So I hope you get a chance to get out into your garden and let it love you today. Bye.